going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about something that I can't believe is in Black Ops Cold War, the most broken challenge in Call of Duty history, and even some other very important updates. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and make sure you have notifications on to stay up to date with everything going on in Cold War Year 2, Warzone, Modern Warfare 2, and any other future Call of Duty as well. Now, if you guys want to sweat as hard as I did here in the background gameplay, be sure to build your own custom aim controller over at their website and use code DYNAMITE to save 10% off any order over $50. You can put paddles on the back, map them to whatever you want, get your logo there on the center of the remote, and any other modifications you may need to a controller, whether it's a DualSense, an Xbox controller, anything you guys may use to go ahead and play some Call of Duty or even other games out there as well. I think I offered support also on my recent gameplay stream this past Wednesday. Went ahead and dropped a nuke live in that stream that you're seeing right now over on Slums, and we had a ton of fun with the open lobby, completing some other seasonal challenges we hadn't completed yet for multiplayer, and having some great laughs with some of you wonderful people out there in the Call of Duty community. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll have another gameplay stream coming up in the next couple of days, of course. But I want to start off with showcasing this beautiful piece of artwork that the lad himself, Fajardi, went ahead and put together and posted on Twitter the other day. It is a Cold War slash Batman Riddler type piece here, and he did a fantastic job utilizing a model that's in Cold War, turning him into the Riddler and giving him a Perseus type redesign, which is absolutely incredible. He also matched the font from the movie where Riddler sends a message to Batman saying "to Batman." He put that in red, but to Adler, which is fantastic. Just one of the best pieces he's put out, and it's one of his most liked tweets ever as well. And be sure to drop any support that you possibly can over on his Twitter page. Drop him a follow, drop him a like, a nice comment about the artwork. It really means a lot to me, and of course to him even more. But yeah, definitely a fantastic piece, and I love the ability that he has to really merge projects together, do a bunch of these crossovers and things that nobody else is really doing around the Call of Duty community. So shout out to him for that, and you're seeing exactly why it's in the thumbnail of tonight's video, because the actual information we're going to be going over about the most broken challenge in COD history is honestly a riddle in and of itself, which we're going to get into. But I also want to touch on the fact that there's a $300 Vanguard jacket being sold, and I remember vaguely during, I think it was the concert, the reveal event for Vanguard, I think it was a couple of months ago, they showcased a jacket that would be sold, which I believe even has the map of Caldera inside of it. I think that's the same jacket, I could be mistaken, but this one's being sold for $300. Doesn't look that bad, but the price is definitely a big question mark in and of itself, right? I mean, you get a free bundle when you buy this jacket. I would love to know if any of you guys out there in the community are gonna buy this. Let me know down below in the comments. Maybe we could hop in game so I could see the skin live. I mean, I don't know anybody that's getting this, but please let me know in the comments if you guys are considering this, because that's a lot of money. Now, if they would have sold Adler's brown leather jacket, which is badass looking, I would have gladly spent $300 on that one, but I'm not sure I have any interest in this one here for Vanguard. But maybe that's just me being biased, or me saying, hey, if this can't match an outfit that I would wear in real life, I'm probably not going to get it. But they're going to bring that up real quickly in case you guys missed that. Now, here's what's going on, right? Here's the riddle of Black Ops Cold War. So, as I was doing some other seasonal challenges that I hadn't completed for Black Ops Cold War multiplayer, I came across one that I didn't do from Season 2, and it's called Cybersecurity Threat. It says, using the Spycraft or Spotter perk, kill an enemy with a hacked field upgrade. Now, surprisingly and shockingly, after I ended my stream and played a couple more matches of MP, I managed to do this, but I just had to talk about this in a video. This has to be one of the most broken challenges in multiplayer history. And here's the thing, right? Don't take this as a negative video or just a rant. I just wanted to go over something that I found absolutely shocking for a multiplayer seasonal challenge. So that challenge doesn't sound like it's too difficult, right? It sounds like, oh, you just, use a perk, hack a field upgrade to get a kill. I mean, on stream, I ended up hacking a field mic, stayed in the radius, and killed an enemy that came towards me. Didn't count. I think I hacked someone's jammer, killed someone in the radius. Didn't count. So I'm like, okay, I guess you have to hack a proximity mine or a gas mine, right? But it's actually not that simple. There was a full Reddit post put out about this challenge last year, which I never saw. This is written by The Veteran War. It says, Cybersecurity Threat Seasonal Challenge. This challenge is something else. The text is very misleading. Firstly, it says the Modern Warfare Spotter perk can be used. However, this perk only allows claymores, proximities, C4s, and trophies to be hacked. Of these, only the trophy system is a field upgrade in Modern Warfare, which is also non-lethal. I even hacked the proximity mine in Modern Warfare just to be sure, but the kill did not count. Secondly, it says field upgrades plural, implying that any lethal field upgrade will work, so both the gas mine and proximity mine should count. I hacked every single piece of equipment I could find line across countless matches of Nuketown, but I was only able to get 3 kills. All of these came from gas mines and did not count, so only the Cold War proximity mines count towards this challenge, which is very frustrating as the vast majority of people use field mics or trophy systems, or none of those at all. I read a tip to play Fireteam Dirty Bomb as this mode supposedly has more proximity mines by the bomb sites, particularly in Sanatorium. So when I read this, I'm like, okay, it's probably a Fireteam centric seasonal challenge because there's quite a few of those Fireteam centric challenges in Cold War. But as he says, I was hesitant to play this mode because it has a tendency to occasionally not save player progression at the end of a round. After a few games, I finally managed to knock someone with a hacked mine, but as I was elsewhere on the map, the player was revived and it did not count. A few games later, I managed to hack one and camp by it as a decoy. It killed someone and counted. I unlocked the calling card and was relieved. I could finally have my first and third perk slots back. However, after resetting the game, I find the Fireteam progression bug is still a thing, and I am now back to 0 out of 1 hacked field upgrade kills. And here's the thing, you only need 1 kill. It does not sound that hard, right? But here's the thing here. The challenge is buggy, misleading, and relies entirely on choices made by enemy players. Massive red flag, multiple to be exact. To recap, you need to sacrifice a perk in slot 1 and 3. You need an enemy to choose proximity mine. You have to wait 2 minutes for the field upgrade cooldown. You have to hope the enemy places the mine in a concealed place, but must also be a place where another player will run over it as you cannot move it. You also have to hope the enemy ignores the in-game announcer telling them that the proximity mine has been hacked. You have to hope it doesn't get destroyed by a random explosion or score streak. You also have to hope another player runs over it without using the flak jacket, engineer, or spycraft perks. And if anyone playing Fireteam, also hope that the player doesn't have full armor, a self-revive or squad mate that could be nearby and could revive them. So you have to hope that all those things go in your favor. You have to watch out for all those things. The challenge is totally luck-based. You can be the worst player in the world and get it in 1 game, or the best player and get it in your 2000th attempt. And again, the reason you have to sacrifice 2 perks is because, again, in perk 1, you'd want to have, engineer to see where the enemy equipment is so you can know where you got to hack it, unless you wing it. You just randomly come across it and you can see it. And then you have to, of course, run spycraft to hack the field upgrade itself. So there's a lot of luck involved in this one, and I'll show you the clip I got over on Rush. I managed to somehow do this. I came across an enemy that was very close to me, hacked his mine, stayed close to him, and it then went off, killing both of us. The amount of luck in that was absolutely incredible. I mean, it was like a 1 in a million chance that could have happened. It doesn't sound that hard, but please let me know in the comments if you guys managed to complete this. I mean, the fact that the challenge itself is misleading, what it asks you to do doesn't make sense. That's a problem with me. So I'm sure people out there already beat this. It's been out for years. People out there probably found workarounds or attempted it 1,000 times to beat it, but when it comes to RNG-based challenges like that, where it's not dependent on you, the player, to complete something, your skill or your capabilities, it's about what the enemies are doing. That I have a problem with, because we're relying on other human beings in Call of Duty never works out well. The RNG required in that, it's just unbearable. And when I saw this, I'm like, I'm never completing this. This is going to be, weeks upon months of just trying and attempting. I just happened to get lucky off stream the same night that I was streaming, doing challenges in game. I don't know how this happened, but it's somehow unlocked. Now, what's also funny is that there's a Season 4 challenge asking you to get a kill while you're 250 meters away from the enemy with a sniper, which is a direct copy and paste of the Reznov unlock challenge over in Blackout. And that got me thinking, right? Looking back at Blackout and the character unlocks, there was definitely a level of RNG involved to get the item you needed, such as, a chaos item from a mystery box, or a Reznov hat that could spawn in 3 to 4 different locations. There was RNG in getting those items and then being in the right place at the right time where an enemy was for you to do the challenge. Definitely RNG involved, but doable. Whereas this one, right, with the proximity mine in Cold War, I mean, you're relying on how many things, right? An enemy to use the mine, you to hack the mine, them not to notice that you hacked it, to walk across it, to not go prone and die by it. I mean, that's a lot of things that have to go in your favor. And again, I'm just not a fan of challenges like that. I don't care what developer is in charge of the challenge. I'm not a fan of anyone that does challenges like this. There's just too much RNG. And I thought it was definitely worth the video to point out that this is a problem Call of Duty should hopefully fix in future releases. Never to incorporate challenges where you're relying on other people to use certain things. I know even Vanguard had this issue where you had to get kills on enemy canines. I mean, how good do the enemies have to be to drop canines? Pretty damn good most of the time. So the odds of running across people that are, using canine and getting it in that match, That's crazy. Now, I know this is a very old seasonal challenge. I mean, this is from season 2, over a year ago. So I think by now they probably would have tweaked it if it truly was a little bit bugged, but they didn't. So maybe they just ran out of time. It seems like it would be a Fireteam centric unlock since, you know, Fireteam got some heavy updates during season 2 of that year. And you would think, right, it's encouraged to go for those proximity mine hacks in Fireteam, but you should be able to just hack a field mic or a jammer, stay in that radius, get the kill, and it should count because the field upgrade originally belong to an enemy, so that should theoretically work. And the irony about it is that it mentions the spotter perk for Modern Warfare, but you actually can't do it in Modern Warfare or Warzone for that matter. So it's crazy how misleading the challenge is, and it's unfortunate, but we never really saw this again with any other seasonal challenges to my understanding for multiplayer and zombies here for Cold War. But the thing is, at least, and at the very least, it's a little bit more of a tolerable RNG challenge because it's multiplayer, right? When you talk about RNG challenges in Battle Royale, such as Blackout or Warzone, that's a little more frustrating because Battle Royales are a lot slower paced than multiplayers most of the time, and you're relying on a lot more factors to go your way versus multiplayer, which is more fast paced, it's respawn, right? And things can probably go in your favor a lot quicker than it would for a Blackout character unlock or some Warzone thing. So that's what I'll give it. At least it's more tolerable than some of the RNG from previous BRs. But I'll remind you guys again, me talking about this broken challenge in this video is not throwing shade or hate at developers. It's not saying that the game's bad because of it. You guys know, of all people, I'll praise Cold War probably more than most people would. But I just want to raise attention about this in case you guys were unaware of the challenge that exists. And I also just want to make this video as feedback for how they could do challenges better in their next Black Ops game, where there aren't really any challenges that are so heavily reliant on other people. I prefer challenges to be as tedious as, let's say, the Black Ops 3 personal decorator, right, to get platinum, or Dead Ops Arcade, get like a billion score. Those take a long time to complete, but it's all about you, not other people. You get what I mean? Now, if this is a challenge that you've beat, let me know your strat down below in the comments. How did you do it? And also let me know if you could think of any other challenge across any other Call of Duty that is as broken as this one. When I say broken, I'm not saying overly difficult, requiring you to play hardcore, or requiring some other RNG. I'm talking about actually broken, where the request in the challenge is misleading, doesn't work, and also relies on an extraordinary amount of factors that need to go your way. Not just one or two things, but we're talking 4 or 5 things, right? Let me know all that feedback down below in the comments if you guys could think of anything. I just figured I'd put out a bit of a fun and different video for you guys tonight, and something that you guys may not even heard of before that's currently in Cold War multiplayer, but also an update for Rebirth Reinforced. The community event has progressed. I think by Monday or Tuesday we should be able to see the opening of all the golden vaults around the map, because Plunder actually released last night for Rebirth, and the final community challenge is to get like, what, $1 trillion across the entire community in Rebirth Plunder. So with that being said, we're getting closer and closer, but because Plunder has released, you can now finish all of the actual doable challenges that you can do solo, and once you do all of those, of course, you will unlock the brand new green looking blueprint for the dinner plate, and I'll be doing that probably in a gameplay stream this Sunday, or even off stream. I'll make a separate video talking about some of my strats and also what I'm thinking about Rebirth Reinforced thus far for the remainder of Season 2. But lastly, we also have an update from Gaming Scooper, the Ghost of Hope, claiming that apparently NFTs are not happening over in Call of Duty. And take it all with a grain of salt, right? Whether it's from a Gaming Scooper, the press, a content creator, take it all with a grain of salt. But this is a bit of a follow-up to the report that we saw from Ralph's Valve a couple days ago, saying that Activision was considering NFT inclusion over in Call of Duty. And it's like I said on the podcast earlier today, I'm like, look, the term and the label NFT turns people off, but if they found a way to incorporate a Counter-Strike type loot system in Call of Duty, people probably wouldn't have a problem with that. But maybe that's something that would better work under Microsoft leadership, not Activision. But who knows what the future holds with cosmetics and the way microtransactions will work in future Call of Duties. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, also some more good news in the gaming space. We have confirmation here from Activision Blizzard that US-based QA testers will be converted to full-time employees, access to full benefits, and hourly wages increased to minimum $20 an hour. During the last 2 years, Call of Duty has expanded and evolved. Our development cycles have gone from an annual release to an always-on model. In response to greater engagement, we've increased our live service business across all platforms. So that's the kind of news you want to hear, right? Actual good news about fair treatment of all employees, for all people involved behind the scenes, men and women. We want to see equality across the board, fair wages. That's what we want to hear about. And hopefully that trend continues and gets even better once the Microsoft acquisition eventually goes through as well. Because you know what? looking at how big Call of Duty has gotten, the expansion with Warzone, the seasonal updates, the very frequent bundles that release, you would think they'd hire more QA. You would think that they're like, oh, let's do more. And it's like the past year and a half, it's like they've hired less people, fired more people even. And it's like, is now the time to be doing that? Especially with these big integrations. We have the COD 2.0 rumors that are just around the corner, right? About the future of the franchise as we know it. The Hub Disney Plus type app that'll have all the active games in one. You need more people working, and they could certainly afford it, right? Let me know what you think about that down below. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the most broken challenge in Call of Duty history, which I believe happens to exist here in Black Ops Cold War? And also, what are your thoughts on $300 jacket for Vanguard? I mean, what is that? That is crazy. $300. Like, what was that? A couple times more than the price of the game. Ridiculous. And also, what are you thinking about the updates regarding Rebirth Reinforced? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.